I really love this hair. This Beauty Forever wig is just life. I love the fullness of it, and it's just so beautiful and soft. Like the way how it feels, it's just
skin girl, your skin just like pearls. You're back against the world. I never trade you for anybody else. Say brown.
Hey everyone, welcome. My name is Natasha and this is going to be my first YouTube video. So we're going to see how this goes. I will be doing a get ready with me, well, full get ready with me I should say. I'm gonna do some hair, makeup. I hope you enjoy. Let me know in the comments what you want to see, if I can change anything, see how this goes. But yeah, my first one out for the year. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe. See you in a bit. Today's video is going to be reviewing this wig by Beauty Forever here. I've seen it a lot on YouTube. I really like the colors of it and everything, so we're gonna try it out today. And I wanted to do an unboxing with you for the first time. This is the hair, how it comes packaged. This is actually, so I went back and looked over my order, and it is actually a 20-inch wig that I purchased. So yeah guys, also in the box is a wig cap, and then you have this little bag of goodies here, and in here you will also get some nice lashes, some hair clips, and then what do you call this? A hairstyle. Yes, to wrap your hair up, I'm guessing. This is it. I just took it out of the bag and she feels nice. So it comes with this net. So I'll go ahead and take that off. And mind you guys, let me just disclaimer, I have none zilch experience in doing hair. I just watched a whole lot of YouTube videos, to be honest, and got a few tips and tricks on what to do, what not to do, what works for you, what doesn't. So this is the wig right out of the box. This is how it comes. It feels lovely. It looks gorgeous. Legit, this is how it looks coming out of the box. And it's so, like, the shine is crazy. So this is she, and it comes with all of this protective stuff. All right, this is how the inside of it looks. You have 2 clips in the front, 1 clip in the back with elastic. There we go. These 2 in the back. My hair for the most part is a small hair. Let's see how this feels straight out of the box, the blending and everything. Don't mind your hair, right? Because we go and see. Okay, so fit wise, it's not too bad fit wise. It does blend pretty well, if I must say so myself. And like I said, I'm gonna use I have a different wig cap. I don't like that light brown one because your girl's short clip. I'm not sure, looking at it, right, I'm not sure if it's going to need to be plucked. We will see. I don't think so. I think I'm fine with how it is already. So let's go ahead and put on my wig cap. Oh, I'm gonna need my alcohol to lay it on because I'm not gonna be that lazy. So I'm just gonna clean my hairline a little bit using some alcohol so it lays better. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on my head. Try not to be lazy. But like I said, I'm not keeping this on, so I don't plan to tie it down or anything. Just gonna wear it for probably the next day or two, we'll see. All right, that's pretty good. I have been using this extra firm hold argan oil edge control, and my hair is a true 4C. So it's very tight and coily. So anything that I use on my edges legit just like curls up. So this is not water-based, and it's the best product that I have found that actually works for me. So I'm gonna put a little bit here just to smooth them out, because that's really the only thing that's showing. So it makes it easier when I put my wig on. So honestly, I've never done this method, to be honest. I usually always do the bowl cap method because I be leaving on my wig for a few days, but I don't plan to do that now today, well at present, because I'm just trying to give my hair a break. And honestly, you can ask anybody who wears wigs at some point, it just becomes overwhelming if you don't have a stylist that's there to do your hair like all the time. You just want your hair to breathe, to be honest. And so that's kind of the stage that I'm at. And I'm going to put this on my head again. Let's see. The fit isn't too bad, mind you. I told you I do have a small head, so it can be very difficult finding something that actually fits. This, like I said, isn't too bad actually. And then I did see this guy do this TikTok method, right? Okay, so what he done, he took this off, right? Flipped it inside out. So I'm gonna take these clips back off. I think this is what I remember seeing anyway. It's gonna be my version at this point. What happened to me? I never put the other clip on. Right, so he flipped it inside out like this, and then he put it back on the head like so, right, to where it needed to go. And the tops of my ears are right here. So it's not too bad, to be honest. It's not much to come off at all. Not much at all to come off. Yeah, so that goes right above my ears. I'm gonna take that off now. And then pretty much, why you turn it inside out, I'm assuming is so that you can feel and see better because all the hair in the way. And I always wondered, how come nobody's never worried about cutting off all the hair, right? Guess because you can't see it anyway, which makes sense. On this other side, see how I made that line right there? Right. So I'm just going to now cut along that line. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. I'm going to, all right, so we're pulling that back like that, and then yeah, and like I said, I don't plan on leaving this on because in Bermuda this would not go at all, right? Too humid, it just don't work. And it's a really humid heat, not a dry heat. So I never think that like just doing this here works. I need a napkin, shoot. All right, and then you just let that dry down. I'm gonna spray it twice, I think. I don't think it makes a difference, to be honest, because I'm gonna take it off, or because I'm not used to doing this method. Let's just say this is what's gonna happen this time. And then spray it once more. So all my quick styling, I don't even know if this will last 24 hours, right? If you're not planning on doing much. Now I'm gonna let that cool down just a tail bit, and then I'm gonna take this and I'm going to do that. Okay. Right, and then I'm going to use this to help get it done the rest of the way. All right, so I think this is ready to come off. It should be dry because it's indeed got to be glue. And yeah, she is ready, right? She is ready. My sides definitely have to be done again.
So you actually want to go ahead and start cutting off the lace, taking your time definitely, so that you don't cut off too much or too little. I'm using a small pair of scissors to be able to get nice and close to the hairline, with trying your hardest, or your best I should say, not to actually cut too much of that hairline off, because that's where the hairs are nice and plucked, so it looks like scalp, right? So just take your time and make your way through. Try and also not to cut in a straight line going across your forehead. So as you can see, I'm taking small little cuts and I'm going kind of in like a zigzag motion so that it's not looking so straight.
So I'm going to reapply some more of this Got To Be to get my edges, right? And then yeah, we see. Now you do have to hold it. I have learned that much. Or else it will pick back up. So I do have to be quick. because wherever you lay it is where it's going to stay, honey. Okay, so with that said, I'm going to see how that lifted. I'm gonna try something. Pull that down and then have it go back. Because you know they'll be teaching you about this stuff on the YouTube channels and stuff. They'll be teaching you when this type of stuff happens. Cross your fingers that this is fine now. Let's see. Let's see. And she's pretty good. All right. So bringing you back in is definitely giving melted for sure. I think this is probably one of my best installs yet. Like legit best installs yet. Now when you do it right, you gotta get up damn hers in the front. Damn, then it gets all stuck. I don't like that look. You definitely find out if you're a baby hair girl or guy or not. I definitely like the no baby hair look. So yeah, just to secure this a little bit further, I'm just going to go just behind the hairline, like so, right? Just behind the hairline. Clip that back out of the way. Okay, and we're just gonna re-secure this a little bit more behind the hairline. Yeah, don't be too heavy-handed with this spray, because yeah, as I did say, you do have to be quick because it would start to lift, right? I never heard anybody on YouTube saying that though. Like, can you help a sister out with that part? Like, all right, so I think that is long enough. Let's see what's happening now. And like I said before, it's not too
okay, now here you just see me loosening up the hair along my hairline after using that Got2b, because it does stick. And so instead of just pulling on the hair so it doesn't lift up the wig completely, just use like a comb, whatever type comb you have, and that will be fine. And just rub it along the hairline softly, not too vigorous, and that will just loosen up the hair some so that it's no longer stuck to your head and you end up with that nice flawless hairline.
Because as I said also, I really don't like edges. So yeah. But as you can see, as I use my comb, it just gets rid of everything that was just stuck. And so yeah, Let's clean it up with a little bit of alcohol once more, because you know she's looking a little crusty. Can I say melted, guys? So I'm really loving how this turned out for my first time. It's just so gorgeous. What I'm going to do, I haven't read it or anything, but I think I might tease it a little bit. Just to give it some volume a little bit. As you can see, it's down, 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 down. And I'm loving every bit of this. It's just good. Hello. But we're gonna get into this makeup, right? And guess what? Same thing with the hair, how I taught myself, or I am learning off of YouTube. Then guess what? Makeup's the same way. Mind you, I've been playing and dabbling in makeup a little bit longer, so we'll see how this goes. But I'm just gonna keep it a little bit basic and like everyday go-to look, being that it's just like an errands type look, nothing too major. So first thing first, I've already prepped my skin in terms of moisturizer. I'm working on these blemishes that I have, so we're just gonna go ahead and get right into the look. I am going to use Cover FX Power Play Foundation in N1 Tan. I just put some here on my cheeks, just a tad bit on my forehead, and that's really the only places I actually go in with it. If I need to build it up, then I will, but we'll see. And then I do like to set my face as I go, so today I'm going to be using Urban Decay Slick. And brush I'll be using is Morphe M39. And I just spray a little bit of that onto my brush and go in. Try not to forget those ears. A lot of people don't do this. I don't know why, but I don't know if I learned it from Jackie. I know that is. I blend that out, bring it down what's left on this brush around my smile line, only because I don't like to put directly on my smile line. That's why I leave it on my cheek area, only because my smile lines stay creased. It don't matter what I put on them. I feel like the more product I put there, the worse it is, right? For me. So I just like to leave it alone as much as possible and not put much of anything there. And then what I was left on my brush, that's when I just go around that area. And then because I highlight, you will see. So what I was left on my brush, I like to bring down on my neck just to blend everything in, right? Now coming up to my head. Then I'm going to take some of my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. I love this stuff. OMG, okay? It is the bomb, and it is in Dark One Coffee. And I don't do that whole diamond look, so it's just gonna go in a tear dark a little bit, then the outside I do pull it down by my nose, and then I'm gonna do the other side like so. A little bit definitely goes a long way, and it also helps with the longevity of your concealer because it is a small tube, right? So it ain't gonna last forever. My upper lip, chin, down my nose, and then forehead. I do use it to prime my eyelids, so I kind of want my concealer to set on my eyelids and a little bit under my eye as well. So that's why I'm gonna go ahead and put it on now. Oh, damn beauty blender. All right. So, damp beauty blender, wet it with water, wring out all the excess, and then use a towel or something to squeeze out as much of that as you possibly can without drying it back out, right? Because you just want it to be damp. And then just bouncy motions on the skin to blend everything out. And I do generally use warm water. I think it just melts it better, to be honest. Blends it out better. I can't lie. And just warms it up a little bit better on the skin. I do work from the bottom and then up. Just quick movements. The reason why I end up in the tear duct last is because that's where I want the most coverage. Sorry, it's weird to talk and do this at the same time. But like I said, I generally start from the bottom and work my way up. Blending it out as much as possible, right? Making sure, I mean, I don't know how many videos you all watch, but every video that I watch, they say you can't blend enough, right? So just blend it enough. I like a little bit of a highlight that is lighter than my skin tone. So I'm also gonna go in with NARS again, but this time it is about 3-4 shades darker, and this one is medium dark too. And I'm just gonna put this in the tear dark, and I'm gonna use that same side that's already got concealer on it, because to me it just helps blend it out a lot better. And I'm gonna bring it up around my eye And although it is pretty bright, I think it brightens up my eye pretty good, right? Bronzer. Not bronzer, sorry. Contour. Now this I bring just on the high points of my cheekbone and a little bit on my forehead. I do contour my nose. I just like how it makes it look per se. And then I'm gonna use a clean side of my beauty blender and blend that out. Yeah, and that is my bronzing. Now I've got to set everything, because once you use a nice once you use the cream, you should be setting it. When I first started doing makeup, I didn't know nothing about all of that, so I honestly thought that my skin was too oily for it, but I think my skin is more of a combination. So once I got older, one, and two, mainly start making my own coin, I was able to buy more options. So I'm just gonna set where I had put the cream, and I'm setting those areas of my face that I had highlighted. And I am using, what's this now? I can't remember. Oh yes, translucent medium deep with Laura Mercier. I'll definitely link everything to the bottom for you guys, so you have an idea. I don't bake only because I think it dries out my skin too much, and it leaves me with that cake face that I really don't that I really don't like. And I am trying to go with that flawless, effortless blend. Now I do bake on my nose to give it a little bit more of a highlight, to be honest. And then for my contour, I am actually going to set my contour. What am I using? Sketch? Yeah, I think it's called Sketch by MAC. Lord, this is so old, but I had to clean it off a little bit, if you can see. Yeah, so Sketch by MAC. Gonna be using that and a MAC 150 brush. Gonna be using those to set my contour a little bit. And then I'm going to do my nose, because remember we did do that. And for my nose, I'll be using this angled MAC brush. Lord Jesus, you can't see nothing on this. Let me see if I can help you all. This is a MAC 215, I think it says. And I'm just going to use the same contour powder and just try sculpt out my nose a little bit. All right, so once I have set everything, right, then once I've set everything, I'm looking all crazy, but shit's coming together. Bring some color and warmth back into everything. I then go in with my pressed powder for all over my whole face in NW50. This is MAC NW50 pressed powder. Studio Fix, I should say, pressed powder. And then I'm going to use my Sigma F20 brush. And I'm going to just set my face all over now. And that actually helps blend everything in. So everything to me just looks seamless. Yes, I go over my contour areas because to me they look better, right? Gonna work on this nose a little bit because should be okay. And then I'm going to use some, whoops, took that off, MAC resin as my blush. Put a little bit of that on the higher points of my cheeks. I must say that I do like blush, to be honest. And yes, this is more so of an everyday look, but I like it. So we're gonna do that. Touch up my nose a little bit again. And yeah, so that's all of the face. Let's get to these brows now, because girl, I need my eyebrows back. But guess what, that's the magic of makeup. You don't have to worry about all of that. So I'm going to use MAC's pot, I don't know what this thing is called, but concealer pot, that's what it looks like, right? And I want to say, as you can see, I've hit pan already because this is old, but that's it's I've been using this for I don't know how long, since I started using makeup when I was young, still in high school actually. Let's see if I can see the color. No, listen, it's a done deal, but I'll let you know. So let's go ahead and get these eyebrows started. And I'm going to be using Anastasia Brow Wiz pencil in dark deep, I think it is, dark brown. Yeah, and I legit, ooh, I just do small strokes, but I do the line underneath first. Very light hand, I must say. just as my guide. And I do like a thicker brow, or as natural as possible brow. And then I'm just going to lightly fill that in. Brows will change, what you use will change. I used to use the pot, but I don't know if this is the only one this happens to, but that thing just dries out too fast, so I feel like I'm wasting my money. I don't know if it's because of the climate here, but she just dried out. So yeah. That's it for that. And then the other side, same thing. That looked pretty good to me. And I'm gonna go back in with this spoolie, brush everything through like that. And I'm going to use my good old trusty and faithful MAC 231 brush. It's all smudged off, you really can't see it. Now with this, I do like warm it up a little bit on the back of my hand. I think it goes on smoother when I do that, just to warm it up a little bit. And then I just blend it out like so. Yeah. And then I use my Sigma E35 brush and I blend it out. Now, everybody has their own little method. Some people use hands, some people use their beauty blender. I personally like how the brush just blends it all in. My lips are so dry. Let me put something on. I'm now going to do the same thing with the opposite side. I do go back and grab some of that on the back of my hand. I don't clean up to the front of my brow. However, towards the back, I do like to just tidy up just a tad bit. Like so. And then I take that same Sigma brush, I think I said it was. Yeah, Sigma E25 brush. And I just blend, blend, blend. Try not to hold your brush like a pencil. You don't allow the brush to move and do what it's got to do. So, yeah. And I blend that out so I feel like it's done enough. Same thing on top. Now I definitely say play with the different techniques and see what works best for you, because and I've always did my eyebrows like this, so I always just say play with it, see what works for you best, and yeah, go from there. Now I want to put on a little bit of highlight, and I think we're good, guys. I'm gonna put a little bit actually of that bronzer on my eyelid. I don't want to use that brush, sorry. I'm gonna see how this Sigma F35 brush works. I just put a little bit of that just to create some depth in my on my eye. I'm gonna bring that down a little bit like that, yeah. And then because I want a neutral look, I'm going to now use my Tarte in Bloom palette. This is super old and used. I've had this for so long now. I've hit pan on quite a few of these, but yeah, that's how she's looking. And I'm going to use Jet Setter because I don't want it to be too light, but I just want to brush something across my eyelid just to create some type of neutral look of put together but not put together, you know what I mean? Now it isn't gonna show up as like a whole lot of color, which I don't want it to. I do want it to blend in as much as possible, but effortless something. And you can just go back and forth until you have the desired shade, the desired look that you're going for, and just build it up as much as you need to. And then I have a clean Sigma E25 brush, and I'm just gonna smooth that out around the crease. First things first, sorry, I ain't forget, but I'm going highlight because I want a more subtle look. I'm going to go in with my Fenty Beauty, it gets used, okay? So my Fenty Beauty in kilowatts, and I'm going to be using Mean Money because it has it's not so bright, it has a subtle tint to it. It on my nose, the tip of my nose, sorry, and on the bridge. And I'm going to put a little bit of it in my inner tear duct before I go ahead and put on my liner. Alright, now we are going to put on my liquid liner.
I will say that when doing your liner, if you are going to be using a liquid liner, then you do have to have a steady hand while doing it because it can get very messy. So just play around with different types of liners and you would know what works with your technique best. But I do prefer to use the liquid liner. I just like the darkness of it, the control I have of it as well. And this technique that you see me doing here, I believe I saw it on YouTube somewhere, but I'm not quite sure. And so once you make the line going straight out from your inner tear duct, you're then going to connect it back in to the lower lash line. So as you can see right there, I made a mistake where I am doing my liner on that left eye, and so it can be corrected. You don't have to start all over. To fix that, I just waited till the eyeliner completely dried, and then you'll see where I go in later with some more concealer to cover up the dark black, and then just set that with the eyeshadow that I used on my eyes.
Definitely don't have to start all over because we not got time for that. And then I go back into that black now from Sephora. So I now go back into the black from Sephora. I'm going to look down and then just clean it up. And good as new. For me at least. I do prefer to spread out my face first so that if I do blink, it won't get all over my face, right? So let's see. And then just find something to fan your face pretty much till it dries down. And the setting spray does help set your makeup, but it also helps to get rid of that cakey, ashy, dry look. And I just, yeah, go back to putting on some of this mascara. I'm going to go in with this Revlon black in my tear duct, sorry, my lash line, lower lash line. That's as much as can be done, right? I don't tend to wear lashes on these days. I just pretty much do that. Sometimes I wear liner, sometimes I don't. So we're gonna do a neutral lip, and I bought these liners, right, from the pharmacy because we don't, well, we call it pharmacy. To my Americans, you will call it beauty supply store. Like even a Target, I guess, will have it. But this is just NK makeup, whatever, whoever that is. NK makeup lip pencil in Cocoa. I'm going to outline my lip. I like a slightly overlined lip to give myself a bigger cupid's bow. And because I'm doing that natural look, I'm going to go in with Too Faced and Lord, I don't even know, guys. I'll see if I can find their matte longwear lipstick. I don't know what shade this is, to be honest. I think it's run off. Yeah, it's come off. I'll see if I can find it for you, but I believe they have branded this. So I just add it to the bottom. Blend it out. I'm going to go back in with a little bit more of that lip liner. And I do want to have some gloss today because your girl misses her gloss. This is Juvia's Place in Barely There. Heaven. I'm gonna put that over. And guys, that's the look. Honestly, I like it. It is simple. It's not too much, that's for sure. Now this here. All right, this is the final look. I hope you all love it. This hair, honestly, I can say right out of the box, it is just lovely, gorgeous, beautiful. I love everything about this hair. Easy to put on. Didn't have to pluck, didn't have to bleach the knots. It just came out really nice. So I hope you lovely girls love this, and I'll definitely leave everything down in the description bar. But yeah guys, thank you for tuning in. It's your girl Tasha. Thanks, and this is it.
I know